There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Streamlabs decided it didn't want to capture the audio at the same time. My internet decided it didn't want to see me. So, we're back. What was the last thing you heard before I went kaput?
Me or them?
All of you.
Put some distance into a copse of trees that
no.
Maggie had been in when she made her way off with the eagle I don't yet know the name of.
I was so close. I almost had it. You are not Rue. And you are not Maggie. So, there we go. There's one. There's
Hey, I've always wanted to play a furbolg.
Maggie got a makeover. It's all good.
I think we... Nope, no.
We're getting there. So close.
So close. Nope. Alright, now everyone is where they should be.
It feels like one of those video game puzzles where it's like,
I know, it's like the shuffling
two
puzzle.
things and you've got to do the shuffle for it to work.
You need a break, Graham. One of these weeks, I'll run tech for you.
Hey,
Yep.
you know, I
There we
always
go.
appreciate that. But, okay, so you had just made your perception check.
I did. That was a 21.
21. Alright. You look around the copse of trees, and almost as if exiting one of the trees, this feminine figure steps out and kind of pulls, merging and separating. And in Elvish, Sprite speaks. I haven't known you to be one for... well, rather extreme actions. It isn't like you to draw attention to yourself.
Well, it's not like the Assyrian Empire to be so bold. But you're right. I did let my emotions get the best of me.
Well,
Yes, some things I just can't stand for.
well, that's what makes you one of our special agents, now isn't it? But, one moment, and she reaches back to the tree and kind of drags a fingernail, and her fingernails are painted with this leaf green, kind of painting. It's almost like a tattoo. It goes from her fingers, almost like on the appendages of her hand, going up her arm and then onto her body itself. And she drags her index finger along the bark, and kind of in the series of like a door, and from one of the trees where she has carved, it begins to sink in and open, revealing a cozy, warm hearth.
Up to your old tricks, huh?
Well, what can I say?
Well, you could invite me in.
Well, it would be my honor if you would join me for a cup of
Since you
tea.
put it like that and I just walk in.
She lets out a soft, bubbly bit of laughter, like the running of a stream in the middle of a forest. It is infectious and relaxing at the same time. And she steps in, and as she steps in, the shimmer of this tree just kind of finishes behind you, as if a door had been closed.
I'm gonna remove my hood.
Inside the hearth is a table set for two. There's a couch and a few beds scattered off farther in the room. The room is about 100 by 100 feet. It is very cramped, but it is very utilitarian, in that it is more of a safe house than anything. and she motions to the table where there is kind of this stewed tea set for you. It's in like this, it looks like a wooden made kettle, but you would know that this is iron wood. It is wood that is as strong as iron, grown in Teldwanon, and 2 cups.
I grab the cup, 2 hands, sniff, and then just take a hearty swig.
It is... yeah.
Compliment them on the tea.
Oh, thank you. It's straight from Teldwanon. I figured you would enjoy a little taste of home.
I do, thank you.
You know, it's not often that the birds, the bees, or the animals alert me to your presence or to any actions that you've taken, which is the only one of 2 reasons why I decided to not just give you a drop-off.
Yeah, the personal touch. It's nice occasionally.
Oh, of course.
Just don't make a habit of it, okay?
Oh, are you saying that you don't enjoy my company?
I'd give her a little smile when I finish that sentence.
You're incorrigible. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, as you and I both well know, you intended to go back to the auctioneer's house. Predictable.
I need information. It's more than just looting the goblin. Although I'm wrestling with whether I steal their life or not. But I need information. Who are the wizards they were talking to?
Well, lucky for you, you have one of the best handlers in all of Teldwanon. I would say not at your beck and call, because I absolutely will not call if you give yourself up. Understandably so, of course. But I do have a lead for you, if that's your question. Which I suppose your next question is, how is this goblin getting all the goods that they have procured or put up for sale? This far east?
Absolutely. I know it has something to do with the wizard, but I couldn't get any more information and I feared being caught. They've got something behind a locked door, and when I say locked, I couldn't even get past it. And I'm the best lockpick I know.
Well, every man thinks they're good with their fingers. But that being said,
Touche.
I'll have you know that I believe, given it is my assumption, that they are smuggling it in through the Underdark. All the way from Teldwanon, from the roots of the trees, through the Underdark, all the way to here, and bringing it up through the Crystal Caverns. Whether...
Who exactly is they?
Well, isn't that for you to figure out?
You know, I knew you were going to say that. I really did. And I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, it's entirely fine. You're not the most social of all the agents we have, but you're definitely not the worst.
I appreciate your compliment.
So, what I would like is, if you have the time, to go into the Crystal Caverns, down into the Underdarks, and find out where they're getting these resources. Whether that's through a wizard in the city, or the wizard is simply a supplier, I would like to know. I have another agent stationed in the Underdark. A drow. Named Fenethil. I've instructed them to keep watch over the Underdark passages and look for you and, if I'm believing my sources correct, the mortals you're parading about with?
Okay, we only have one that parades, and the dwarf, he's got a great heart.
Well, that does offer you some level of cover, After all, a dwarf in the Crystal Caverns is going to be most welcome, I would assume, as they are no doubt returning home.
I was about to say, I actually think he's from the Crystal Caverns. Admittedly, I've not really taken the time to get to know the folk I'm parading around with, and maybe I should, but it's like you always taught me, attachments are deadly.
Indeed. Speaking of attachments, and getting to know individuals, the tiefling that's traveling with you, I would love to know
The
more
wizard?
about them. Yes.
What do you know already? What should I be on the lookout for?
Well, for one, the Assyrian Empire does not seem too fond of them.
I'm liking them more and more already.
Yes, which prompts the question of why does the Assyrian Empire not like them?
Who does the Assyrian Empire like except the Assyrians?
Oh, well, they like those that have a holier-than-thou attitude. They're...
Well, then they should love me.
Perhaps they just haven't met the real you yet.
And now that you say it, I don't think they want to.
Well, I would assume not, as usually when you meet their agents, or really anyone we've put you in touch with, you've usually killed them.
They've all deserved it except for that one, and that was a mistake. You're just going to keep dangling that over my head, aren't you? I said I was sorry. Twice.
Well, sorries don't buy the 5 hours of my time to put another agent to correct your misguided affections?
They needed
Attentions?
the experience. It was a learning exercise.
Of course, of course. And there's always something to be learned.
And it's not like I've never cleaned up after anyone.
Oh, of course, And now you're going to dangle that in front of me. Well, I'm sorry that I had to do a late-night dead drop.
I was a rookie once, and you made me earn this.
She pinches the bridge of her nose.
I sipped the tea, angrily.
I will say this. I am on your side in defense of freeing the hawk.
I know, Sprite. I know. It's...
Is there anything you need from me?
Well... So you don't want me to go to the Goblin's house. I just need to make sure that I
No,
understand.
you can go to the Goblin's house.
Can I
All
still
I'm
kill
saying,
him?
I'd advise against killing them until after you intend to leave the Crystal Caverns.
Okay.
After all, that would get the agents in town stirred up into a frenzy, and I much prefer them complacent.
Okay, I won't create any work for you yet.
Oh, it's a terrible cough.
Yes, it was a bit something in the air, but Karis, the tiefling, the wizard that I'm traveling with, any idea why or what exactly do you need me to look for other than why the Assyrian Empire isn't particularly fond of them?
Well, I want to know if they are someone we can use, or if they're someone that we need to trade. After all, if we want to get our own agents back, sometimes we do have to trade someone for someone. And if you're not attached to them, well, should make it an easy trade.
I just wasn't trying to develop assets. It's a level of... I'm trying to put the dishonesty behind me.
Well, you could always just ask her, hello, why does the Assyrian Empire not like you? What did you do, and or what do you know?
That sounds like an awful idea.
Oh, of course. Which is why I have made something for you. You can only use it once. And she kind of reaches back. Her hair is like this mahogany brown, and she's wearing almost like a bark, like a outfit made out of bark, like a dress that has kind of been grown over her.
I
And
really want to see this character art.
Hey, someone commissions it, they can have it. And she reaches out and pulls a single leaf. Crush this up in a mortar pestle and make sure it's ingested.
By
You're-
whom?
By whoever you intend to ask questions to. It'll last probably about 3 minutes with this smaller dose. While they have ingested it, for those 3 minutes, they will answer anything truthfully.
This could be very handy.
Again,
Can I
it
mix?
can only
Can
be
I
used
mix in a
once.
beverage?
Beverage,
Sprinkle on food.
either is fine
Just
as long as they eat
consumed.
it.
Okay. What do you call this? That's fine. I don't need to know.
Well, some call it guile leaf.
Guile leaf. Like it. How come
Others?
you've never given me any of this before?
Who's to say I haven't? She
Wait, but-
winks, and then looks to the tea.
That night until went on.
Of course, of course. Well, yes.
Have you heard anything from Val? How's he doing? How's he keeping up?
I will confess I haven't kept up as well as I should have, or have been.
No, that's.
But if
that's
it's
fine.
something you... Dear heart, if there's something that you would like, you need not but ask.
No, I'm fine.
Are you fine? It's a 22 for an insight check.
I'm. No, I'm not fine. I'm never fine. It's.
Fair.
You know, that's how Collineth is. I mean, there's a lot that he wrestles with on a daily basis. Things he's done, seen, been party to, part of. Absolute lives he's ruined. So, yeah, no, he's. If you were going to unpack his baggage, you'd need a couple shipping containers. And I'm talking about those biggins.
Like
Not
the ones they
little
put on,
pods.
like...
Yeah,
the
the ones that
ships?
go. Yeah, the ones that get stuck in the Suez. Actually, the boat that got stuck in the Suez Canal, that was hauling his shit.
She offers a nod. Well, if you need anything, I'll be in touch.
The usual. No, I think I'm good. Just to recap: Crystal Caverns, Underdark, the Tiefling. I do have one other question.
Of course.
This hawk that I liberated and somehow summoned you in the process, which I'm not angry about at all. I don't regret it. You know anything of its former companion, its former bond?
I could look into it. While I keep an eye on my favorites, I definitely do not have an eye out all the time. And I'm not omniscient, as much as I wish I was.
Alrighty. Then I just offer a hand and a hug if she'll take it. And
Oh yeah, she will give you... I think the best way to describe the hug that you get is this motherly, almost nurturing, like a parenting hug, where it is a level of professionalism, but there is a warmth of like that mentor-student connection. And she holds you for a moment.
I hold
and-
it for just a little too long and I say, well, this is awkward.
Well, enjoy your, what was it, looting?
Well, since you say I can't kill him, I guess.
I didn't say you couldn't rob him.
It's like that cough.
You really should get that checked out.
And then I turn around, hood up, and I'm just like, door please.
Oh, of course. And she kind of, again, drags those green fingernails on the wood of the wall, and it shimmers for a moment, and then you see almost like a veil has been lifted. It's like a purple speckling that you can just kind of walk through. It's transparent. You can see out. Oh, well, before you go, one last thing, and she's going to cast Pass Without a Trace on you.
Ooh. I've felt this before. I appreciate that. I've really got to learn that thing with the... You're amazing. And then
I know I am.
Then I just kind of back out, disappear.
Soon as you back out, the doorway vanishes, and the last look you see of her are these golden, glittering eyes, mirthfully kind of glinting in the night of like the night sky, and she just kind of fades from you. And almost like a summer breeze, you feel her presence travel impossibly fast away from here back to Teldranon.
Running on my way. Then just turn around and make my way back to the Goblins.
All right.
A little bit lighter in the feet. A little more tap in the step.
Of course, hitting your groove. I get it.
Thinking to myself, as big a pain in the ass as she is, it's always good to see her.
The city itself is quiet. The town guard, you can see the glow of their torches far side of town, away from your mark. On your way, can you roll me a stealth check?
I can.
And then add 10 to it.
All right. Plus my...
Yep, plus your stealth mod.
All right. Oh man, that's a lot of numbers. That's 27, 30...
37?
No, 35. 35.
Okay, 35. You lose yourself for a while.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Sprite and, just the whole seeing her. Just a flood of everything comes back, and I don't even know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of in a state.
I like to imagine it's like when you're driving on the highway and you have music on, or you're thinking about something, and suddenly you arrive at your destination.
Yeah, I
with
mean...
no knowledge of, like, what is... And you're on autopilot.
You left the mountains, now you're at the beach, and like... Alright.
Yeah. So I think we find you as you're, like... You kind of come to your senses as you're, like, climbing back through the window.
Oh. Right. And I just kind of look around and slide the window up ever so quietly, very slowly, waiting to see if there's any catches or creaks or any kind of noise.
Sure. Your feet touch the wooden floor. You test your weight, pressing one foot on the floorboard, slowly, lowering your weight. There does not seem to be a creak.
Okay.
Your second foot follows. You're safe for now.
Okay, and I'm just going to proceed, like, very slowly, one hand out in front of me about waist level, find the edge of the room, make my way around the edge, back against the wall, peek out. And I want to check every door in the stairwell before I make my way back to the room with the locks, the padlock, and all of that.
Okay. So all the doors seem to have been shut. You open, the door to the room that you have jumped through. It opens with a well-oiled swing. You don't see any glow. It's about 3 in the morning at this time, 3 or 4. It is entirely dark. Every door seems to be shut. However, you have a 19 perception. You do hear audible snoring from across the stairwell If you remember, it had like a stairs came up and it was kind of like
Mhm.
a half circle around. On the far side opposite of you, snoring is coming from there.
Okay. Am I able to tell if it's one
One
party
individual.
snoring? Yeah. Or more?
Ooh, that's a great question that I hadn't thought of.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Roll a perception check. Well,
Okay. That's going to be a... Oh, boy. 12 on the die plus 4, 16. I can
16.
math.
Looks and sounds like one individual.
Okay. And that's the goblin, correct?
Yeah. Having heard their voice at the auctioneer and then when you threaten their life, definitely can make out that this is the goblin.
Okay. I'm going to let them be now. I'm going to make my way to that door as soon as I know everything else is clear.
Okay. Again, you have the padlock, you have the lock on the door.
I'm going to go for it.
Alright, sleight of hand. Or thieves'
Okey-doke.
tool proficiency.
Oh boy. Pretty sure I'm proficient in Thieves' Tool.
I think
I don't know
so.
if I wasn't. That's going to be 17, and can I use my inspiration now?
Sure.
That's a D6, right?
Yeah.
All right, that brings me to a 20.
20. Alright. It takes you about 3 minutes to do this professionally, quietly. But first, the door, you feel the doorknob, like, through that lock, you feel it give. You feel all the tumblers kind of set. Then you move to the padlock itself and the chain. Securing the chain with, like, the palm of your right hand, like Sprite has taught you. And then working by kind of, like, twisting your wrist. You begin to work the padlock, and after about 2 minutes of that, you hear, like, the small pop and click as the padlock lets go. And you are able to kind of slip it off and slowly slide the chains down.
Open the door slowly, and I just kind of look in, looking for any kind of, from what I see, any kind of shadows or any light, anything dancing on the wall, anything to indicate that it's occupied.
Doesn't look occupied. It looks like a office. It's
Okay.
kind of got like this desk on the far side against a wall, strewn with papers, but like stacked envelopes, correspondence. It's got like an inkwell with a quill. Far right, bookcase. Far left is a kind of like a writing table.
Okay.
And over on top of the bookcase itself is this one of those like glass containers, like you would show like an antique ship or an antique.
Okay.
And it is this simple dagger.
Right. I want to work my way clockwise around the room. If there's any kind of window or anything showing to the exterior, I'll make sure to stay out of that so no one can see me from outside.
Yep. There is no window in this room.
Okay.
It is entirely just 3 walls.
All right. Then I am going to search until my little elven fingers can't search anymore.
Sure.
I'm specifically looking for anything that mentions wizards, the Assyrian Empire, any kind of manifests, lading, receipts, custody, any
Okay.
kind of provenance. This is
Okay.
more about reconnaissance and intelligence gathering than it is about looting, but I will be looting as well. Anything
Fair. All right. Roll me an investigation check at advantage. You are in no rush, as far as you are aware. They have not detected you.
17 and 4, 21.
21. Quickly roaming the desk, you see several correspondences. You see some to a Mr. X. His name pops up several times. You see several to the Wainwright Trading Company. Several to the... gosh, what is his name? Barnabas White. Name is not familiar. But there's like 2 or 3 letters from them. Then there is, underneath all of that, several ledgers and, notes of sale and notes of purchase. You're not able to read all of them. This is just, you can quickly kind of say, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and kind of make a stack.
Got it.
So
All right.
in total, you have about 14 letters.
All right. Then I'm gonna make my way over to the bookcase, dagger, and then I'm going to I want to see what books occupy this bookcase, and I'd really like to see if I can come across any kind of spell book or anything that might be of use to Karis.
Okay. All right. 21 was your investigation.
And if I didn't mention that the dagger is now mine, the dagger is now mine.
Yeah, just grab the thing. Are you taking it out of the glass holder, or you?
No, I'm taking the
Okay.
glass also.
Good
And
to
I'm
know.
actually going to leave a note on the desk.
All right. What does the note say?
Thank you. And I'm going to leave 9 gold.
Okay. 9 gold. A thank you note. Would you like a description of the dagger?
Yes, please.
Now that you have a closer... Alright. So, the blade itself is about 8 inches long. It is very small, like something like a pocket knife almost. But along the blood... It has a blood groove, which is weird, because that's not something you would typically see on something that doesn't have a fuller for swords. But it has a blood groove that seems to glow with, like, this orange tinge. The pommel itself is this swirled white alabaster. Kind of looks like a unicorn horn. And it has like a small little pommel that is made out of bronze. And it's like a bronze skull.
Badass.
As for the books, being someone who's not trained in Arcana, probably hard to kind of, without opening every single book, say this is a spellbook, this is a spellbook very clearly. However, you are, as you're kind of like quickly pulling out and shuffling books back in, you do find 2 parchments that, as far as you can tell, might be spell scrolls.
Stuff them in the cloak.
And around this time, you hear a noise outside.
Is it Maguglia and the Calico?
Hey, a DM never kisses and tells.
My man.
Maguglia is looking for those criminals, obviously.
Right.
But you hear a noise. It sounds like more feet than the guard, but it doesn't sound like they are coming directly at you, but it sounds like they are coming in your general direction towards the building.
Okay.
And, you can make out one of the voices as the Assyrian agent from earlier, over at the market. He is talking to someone.
At my distance from him, am I able to make out the words, or can I just tell they're talking?
You can just tell they're talking. General tone. You would have to get closer. Probably have to leave the building.
Yeah, I was about to say, how long does pass without a trace last?
I believe it's an hour.
I've spent a good minute in there trying to find all this stuff and things and be a little bit of a jackass and leave a note and 9 gold.
And their life.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, he'll keep his life tonight.
Yeah, I mean, or it's until Sprite decides she doesn't want to keep concentration on this anymore. So
And yeah,
could
no,
end any time.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a jokester.
She's definitely not above throwing you to the wolves and saying,
No,
I'm
not
sure if
at
they're
all.
a good agent, they'll get out of it.
Yeah. Clean this one up.
Exactly.
I am going to proceed very cautiously and not engage the Assyrian. I've got enough to hold me over for a little while. I wouldn't at this point I don't feel the need to risk losing everything that I've gained.
Sure. So we're going to scene transition. I think you slip into the tavern with your friends around... Actually, I think you slip in earlier, but I'm going to say that you were probably perusing the letters when they fought the criminals in the morning, which is why you weren't in the fight. And
Sorry about that.
hey, it's all good. I think you are dredged from your research around the time someone's like, "Fight in the town! Fight in the town!" Just hollering out. You hear Fizzle barking that metallic bark. And you probably hear either Karis or Rue be like, "Wait for us, River!"
And I'm just like, what? And here we go.
Yeah. So you kind of barrel in right about the time that this fight ends. You see Shiella handcuffing and manacling Flenser. You see River. River, I think you were... Well, you don't look like River.
No, River looks like about 5'8", tan boy, some mask-presenting person with curly blonde hair. But I'm also wearing the armor and carrying the glaive, and Fizzle is near me, so maybe.
I just look at them and I'm just like, okay. Fizzle, that's a good boy.
Did you do something with your hair?
Was that in or out of character?
Yeah. I watched it. No, just had my hood up. Looks like y'all have been busy. Sorry I wasn't there to help, but looks like y'all don't really... Is the dwarf drunk? Never mind.
Where the fuck were you? We could have really used your help. Way to go.
Oh, you remember that goblin?
No, and I don't really give a shit either.
Me either. Fuck that goblin.
Did you leave Fakah in the inn? Is that where Fakah is? I came in earlier and I handed you the bird and I told you that he seems a little traumatized and to take care of him, but I'd take care of him if you didn't want to take care of him because I like him and I can take care of him just fine, but I didn't. I just later and then I ran out and then you had the bird. It's not important.
How about we both take care of Fakal? They seem like they like you a little bit. And I've never known a hawk to not like a furbog.
I'm good with bird sharing. That works.
They're not really. They don't really understand bees, but they'll be okay.
They get along with Sparkles.
Nice.
Yes.
Everyone gets along with Sparkles.
Some ragamuffin that may or may not be Karis, because it doesn't quite look like them, is rummaging a dead body and taking 2 bladed weapons from a scorched, very dead-looking body, wherever.
Very dead.
I pointed that dead body.
Yeah.
There is no head on this furball.
I pointed that body and say, like, well, some of them don't get along with Sparkles, but other than that, they
I just look at cars and I'm just like, isn't that my job?
Hey, Karis, if you got any poison on him, can you snag that from my place?
Just a raise of a hand, like, got that, and she's just rummaging.
Yeah, if there's some of these motherfuckers around here still, I gotta take care of them. And I don't got time for doing the stabbing right now.
Aren't we kind of in the middle of the street where there's lots
so we should speed all of this up. We should speed all this up.
Sheila.
Why would we bother being subtle about things now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you don't have to rub that part in. That was unintentional, but I would just get.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Maggie. That was rude of me to say that to you. So as I now turn towards the person who was previously presented as River, so why would we bother being subtle about things now?
Oh, I ain't subtle. I'm subtle like a brick being thrown out of a glass house. Anyway, Sheila, where the fuck you taking this guy? I have some words for Flinson.
Back to the inn.
Well.
Chop, shit. Chop.
All right. No need to bite someone's head off. I have a room that we can use closer to the auctioneers. It's in the Wayward Wainwright.
How about you just lead the way, and if you need me to carry him for you, because you need just a quick respite, I'd be happy to.
I mean, who am I to say no? Try not to bruise the baggage.
I make no promises. He'll still be alive. You can get your money. How about that?
Sounds wonderful. So, follow me, unless you're busy rifling, I can buy you maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
She listens, like, perks her head up. 1 minute. Like, listening to, like, the shouts get closer.
Is finishing up getting anything valuable and easy to move off of this dead body.
Roll me a investigation check. Whoever, raise your hand if you're searching a body. There are several.
I'm searching a live body that I'm throwing over my shoulder
Flenser?
right now.
Okay.
And I'm not being gentle at all.
I didn't figure you would be.
Maggie says, should I be helping with the digging through the corpses or just stand? I'll just stand here.
I just say to Meg, and you say its name is Fakal?
That's what it said. Its name is Fakal. Well, it gave a bunch of other names too, but I couldn't understand them. So the closest I got was, well, it says that people call it Blood Claw, and its favorite person calls it Precious Little One, which I thought was really cute, but a little presumptuous of me to call since I had just met him. So Fakal was the closest that I could come up with. It acts like it doesn't realize that its person is dead, but its person is dead.
Oh.
But it knows that, but
it does.
No, it does. It does, but it doesn't. In that way, just try to keep him grounded in reality. That's all I can say, is just grounded in reality. He'll get it eventually. But yeah.
I just look at Fakal and I say, "Do you want to be called Bloodclaw?"
All you hear is Quack! Just
see what I mean?
Speak with animals.
Fakal it is.
Alright. Investigation is 21.
21. You have the two sickle-like daggers. With the serpent kind of Kobesh-esque design. Quickly looking over, the leathers they're wearing, while scorched, does not look to have any significant damage. Probably magical. They are wearing a belt that has a dagger as a belt buckle. Looks to be ornately made. And this is just giving a quick rundown. They have 6 files inside their coat jacket. 1 is smashed. It was green. 4 are various colors of orange, red, and like a rust color. And then the last one is a red one. Then they have 80 gold in a coin purse. 6 forms of ID, or what looks like to be ID, or like means of travel. Aliases. And that's off quick glance. I think that's all you'd be able to get, unless you are going to do anything to stall to look further over.
No.
Can I quickly ask if Karis found Viper identification, or is that just like a tattoo or something? Do they have any physical identification for the gang?
There is no physical identification for Viper. Adder does have, like, their Saraskara clothing tucked in. That you definitely would be able to point out.
So Karis is not taking the armor, but she does point out, that's magical if anyone takes the time to carry the body, but I'm not messing with that. And I would be careful to not touch any of the vials that appear to have the green spilled on them with my bare hands. Like, I'm being very careful to, like, not touch that directly. And I bundle up the vials and probably hand them to Birdie. And be like, here, these are yours.
Thank you.
The rest is mine.
I'm leaving with these vials.
Exactly, and then I am following the,
Yep.
we're leaving.
And with an awkward kind of belch from Beldis at this moment here, as the night's drinking is, wow, it's been a lot. Said he wanted this one to come, okay, and I just kind of grab the body, and I will just start dragging.
Okay.
Excellent, great job.
Birdie.
Yeah.
You find a coin purse of 60 gold.
On Flenser?
Yeah, on Flenser. You find a bandolier of throwing knives and various serrated attire. You know what they're used for, but I'm not even going to say it out loud on Twitch. But small little daggers. And you find their short sword is on the ground. It's nothing special. It's a short sword.
Fuck that.
And let's see, do they have anything else on them? They have a medallion that is gold. Looks like it could be worth maybe like 150 gold in total.
Is he unconscious or is he conscious?
I believe he's unconscious. Yeah, he's unconscious. He got chokeholded by Sheila, and then if you remember, she like cracked the neck to knock him out or karate chopped him.
All right.
I can't remember what it was.
I don't give a shit. It's fine.
And yeah, Sheila sets down side path, headed towards the Wainwright. And she, is looking. She is actively trying to avoid guards. So a few times she takes you and like circumvents and takes you down like an alleyway, then down a side alleyway. And she takes you to like this ramshackle. Imagine like a Western tavern, like cowboy kind of themed tavern. It's got like the 2 slide doors, saloon bar on the right, saloon tables have those wooden tables kind of set down with like 4 chairs at each, all down, and kind of stairs that go up the left-hand side that go up a floor, and there look to be several rooms. She walks in, looks at the bartender. 10 gold for everyone to shut their eyes and take a free drink. And he looks at her, looks at Birdie, who I assume is the next person following in and carrying Flenser, goes, "Yup, Mom. Yup. And free drinks for everyone over there near the bar." And
I feel like Maggie, who's not been involved in this kind of activity before, has a second where she shuts her eyes and then like realizes that's not who he's supposed to do that.
Absolutely.
I love Maggie so much.
And quickly, eyes are averted. There's not a lot of people here at this early in the morning. Those who are here are still drunk from last night.
Like on the floor, tables and shit.
Yeah, there's a dwarf who looks like Beldis that's not wearing a shirt, bussing some tables.
Same table.
Yeah, the same table over and over. They like have a rag wipe it down, and they've like with their other hand lifted up a mug so they could clean, and then they set the mug down. Then they look and they're like, "Did I not clean this?"
Just outside this place, is there okay, I'm dragging a body.
Yeah.
Is there a convenient spot where I could just kind of half-ass lazily toss said body? And
wait, which body is this?
the one that Kara said had the fancy armor.
It's
Adder.
Adder.
Yeah. So
It
also, I
is.
think the one missing a head.
Yeah. You could deposit the body in an alleyway. There's not a lot of eyes on you during all these side alleyways that you were kind of guided through. If you wanted to lose the body in there, quickly strip it down of whatever you need, and then go, that would be your best bet.
I will try to do that.
Roll me a stealth check.
And I'm at disadvantage because I'm still exhausted.
Yes, you are.
Oh, that's not terrible. That's a 10.
Okay. Which would you prioritize, the belt or the shirt? I'll give you 10 seconds to decide.
I got the belts.
Oh,
so
you
I
already
got
have the
everything
belt.
smaller than
Okay.
anything that wasn't the armor itself. I got. So
Okay, then let me hit you with this. There is underneath the shirt, as you're kind of pulling it, you see the sheen of a metallic fabric. You can get one or the other.
I will go towards that metallic fabric.
Sure. You may add mithril chainmail.
Mithril chainmail?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Chain shirt, sorry.
Oh, so okay, chain shirt.
Chain shirt. Not chainmail. To your inventory, you quickly pull it off. About the time that you've ripped it off, you see someone go, point. There's a dead body over there! And immediately, they have not seen your face. You're facing away from them. You are hearing this. You're like holding the shirt. The body's on the ground.
Oh Lord. Okay. They're gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. What spell?
As he kind of turn and say, I suggest you tell no one about this moment. And that's suggestion.
All right, DC.
DC 15.
They
Wisdom.
roll a 14, and they have a +0 to wisdom.
Well, that's
you see them stop midpoint, and robotically their arm falls. In their eyes, you can still see that they want to see this, and they go, never mind, nothing to see, and they just walk away.
Cool. Like when Beldis was originally walking down, like before this watching him go down, turn to whoever's closest to me. Remind me before we leave to take a piss on Ada's body later.
Oh.
Mentally takes a note to not do that.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's Maggie responding, by the way, just being like, what have I done?
And then following the rest of the conversations that we've already had.
All right. Beldis, you have bought yourself. You can get both. You can get the leather if the person who would have spawned you doesn't tell anyone about you. You've got another 30 seconds or so.
Well, yes. Well, why not? In for a penny, take a whole mountain. I'll take that part too.
Sure.
Casually throw the chain shirt over one shoulder, and I'm just carrying this whatever parts of the leather in my arms, and I'm going to go into that bar.
Okay.
Drop them on a table.
Okay.
As everyone else is turned around, I walk up to the bar. I need the scale of a Tarask.
The bartender, who is still serving a amassed amount of drinks.
Yes. That's what I meant.
Looks at you. Looks at a mug of ale that they have just poured. No special drinks before 11 a.m. And they just hand you the ale.
Yeah. Scale of Tarask.
All right,
the
buddy.
cat.
I don't often say this, but I think you've had enough.
Wings of the bird. Hair of the dog. That's what I'm trying to go for.
Just reach over Baldus and grab the top of the ale and just sort of grab it out of his hand. If the bartender is telling you to stop, you should stop.
I know.
Is he with you? Do you have a room up?
He's with. I've got him. I'm good. I'll keep track of.
All right. Make sure he doesn't cause any trouble. Dwarf stains are the worst.
I don't really know what that means, but I don't want it to happen anyway. So I set it down on the bar way far away from Baldus, and I pat Baldus on the shoulder and I go, look, okay, like, I'm not going to be like this with you all the time, but right now I've got your back, and I also am stopping you from making things worse for yourself. So let's just figure out about the people we just all killed in the street, and we can drink maybe later.
You all just killed people in the town square.
You heard nothing.
Weren't you paid 10 gold to shut the fuck up?
Yeah, do you want your gold or don't you want your gold? Am I doing it right? Am I doing the crime thing right? Do you want your gold?
All right, enough questions.
Not?
Yeah, I'd like the gold, please.
All right, good.
I was also just gonna say, you could end up like the people in the town square too. But I'd rather not, because gold's easier. And I turn around and continue following Shella.
Yep. Enjoy your day.
And Maggie tries to do the like.
Yeah, there's
like a little bit
like the Avatar, what a trap.
Yeah, what a trap. I love that scene so much. Yeah, they go back to like pouring drinks for the 3 people still awake.
I'm sorry about this. I'm going to drop 3 gold on the table for them and then just go to my table scraps and pick them up and follow these people wherever they were going.
Yeah, Shayla leads you up to the top floor. It is the farthest room away from the door where you came in. She kind of pulls out a key quickly, practiced ease, turns the handle, opens the door, motions for you all to go in.
Sorry, I don't do this crime thing very well. I don't have a lot of practice.
You're doing great.
Man, you're doing fantastic. I mean, really, you are. And please, don't get good at it. It's terrible.
I don't intend to get good at it.
Like, I've seen worse, not gonna lie.
Absolutely don't get better at it, because then I'm gonna get paid to catch you.
Not interested in that
Karis is
either.
just like flashing a thumbs up from wherever she sits down. There is definitely like a stain on whatever she's wearing, and she just sort of holding it, sort of rocking a little bit.
Are you all right? Do you need some help? I can help. Would you like me to help?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I've got you. Just give me a second, and I start like digging around in my my belt, and I'm gonna pull up my spell and roll it in a sec.
Yeah. About that time, you're all funneled in. She shuts the door and locks it, and she pulls out a small little hourglass. It kind of looks like, but it's more like a 30-second timer, and she flips it, sets it by the door, and you hear nothing from the outside.
Silence.
Yes, it's a bit convenient sometimes.
God, get me one of those.
There was a gleam of like agreement, and Karis is actually like, ooh, I like that.
16 for Karis with the 2nd level healing word.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Nice. 2nd level healing word.
I rolled an 8 on one of my d8s.
Oh my god.
Alright, Karis is looking much improved.
Oh, cure wounds. I meant cure wounds.
Yeah. The one conscious individual that has just come with you is just standing there as like, I don't want to die. So they are just staying straight-faced, not saying anything, looking at the ground.
Oh, you're talking about the other...
yeah, the
person.
other Saraskara Viper, the one that surrendered at the end.
Good idea.
Yeah. They're trying to stay out of it unless any of you address them in particular. They're just going to sit down, shut up.
How high are you on the totem pole?
I'm not very high at all. I'm just, they said, do you want to get out of the Crimson Haven? I said, sure, I'd love to get out of this place surrounded by walls that you can't leave.
Yeah, it's great, ain't it?
Yeah. They said they had a job. I said, okay. They smuggled us out. And they said they'd pay me 80 gold.
Yeah, just pretend, make sure you cover all your tracks. You definitely died during that fight, because if you don't pretend you're dead, they're gonna come after you like they came after me.
Is this a persuasion or intimidation?
This is just a stating a fucking fact.
They offer a nod. They're like, yep, never going back there again.
Yeah, unless you want to go back there, but I don't suggest it, because you're gonna bring back information that I don't want you to bring back.
Yeah, nope, not going back. Nope. Maybe I'll go to a tiny town in the middle of nowhere that no one knows my name.
City Stilts is nice this time of year.
I'll make sure to check it out. I literally don't know where that is.
Ace.
You should change your life a little bit, though, and not do crime anymore, because then you won't have to be in this position again.
But if I didn't do crime, then I wouldn't live in the Crimson
Do you
Navy.
need-
I would have already been dead.
You could learn how to farm, or maybe make bread.
Or do magic, there's the possibilities are endless is all we're saying, especially since you're now not there anymore. And not you. Remember, you're not you anymore.
Right.
You're
not
a new
me.
person.
I'm a new person. My name will be Salmon.
Okay.
That's a good name,
Salmon.
right?
Ooh, I'm gonna.
Hi,
Okay.
Salmon. I'm Beldis.
Hi, Beldis. I'm Salmon.
Good to meet you.
If we find out you're doing crime again, we'll come and find you.
Karis just shakes her head like, I
This
will
is
not
like a
find out there.
19-year-old that is like,
No
you
real
see.
shit. This
Yeah.
Maggie.
I don't
They could not go
I've never done this
paler.
before.
If they went
I'm
any,
very-
if they went any
it-
paler,
it-
they'd be mistaken for a Shatter Kai.
It worked.
Keep,
I mean,
keep your
it worked.
apiary job.
That's my intention. I will send bees to sting you.
Please don't. I saw what your fiery did to my friends.
You just hear Goblins saying, "Does Fakal like salmon? You like salmon, Fakal? Fox eat salmon, right?"
I don't mean no trouble, sir. From you, Warrior Bird. I won't do it. I just won't. I won't. Whatever you need, whatever you want, I won't do it. I mean, I'll do what you want me to do. I won't do what you don't want me to do.
Just shh. Shh. Okay? Just shh. Shh. Okay? Okay, perfect. Great, perfect.
Are you still hungover from last night?
I don't think I got to hungover yet.
Oh, you're still drunk. Lovely.
The bartender cut him off. I mean, the bartender
At 11
here
a.m.
cut him off.
At 11.
I'm sorry. How do you sleep at night before you're told you're probably going to murder somebody the next day?
Easy, actually.
I'm not surprised.
At this point, I do kind of just content warning violence. Sorry. I throw down Flesner.
Yep.
And give him a nice hard kick.
They are unconscious. You feel your foot connect. You hear a.
This is a stress relief kick.
Yeah. You hear a groan, but it is nothing coherent.
Do I gotta waste magic on this motherfucker?
That sounds like a personal choice.
That does sound like a personal choice, but I also don't want to deal with him for more than I have to, and so Shiel can get their money.
But you probably want to use magic, just efficiency.
It is quick, yeah. I will cast a level 1 cure wounds on them, but just enough to get them conscious.
Okay, so are we talking 1 HP worth? Or enough so you could get a few blows in if you have to and not put them back into unconscious state.
That one.
Okay.
So I'll actually roll for you.
I was about to say, because an unarmed attack is probably going to knock him down.
It's only 5 hit points.
Okay, 5 HP. Got it.
Hey, Graham.
Yeah?
Just so you know, they'll just lost concentration on suggestion. Do with that information as you will.
Okay. Thanks. I'm going to have to make some rolls now real quick. 1 second.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, beautiful. Freaking beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
You have the spell is for 8 hours and you lost concentration already?
Eldest is still drunk.
Yep.
He's like so drunk. Of course he did.
I love it.
Meanwhile, Karis is examining her haul of stuff, so namely the sickle daggers and the belt.
Yep.
She's gonna commune with them for a little while to figure out what they do.
All right, so are you identifying or
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna identify them.
Ritual cast or using a spell slot?
Ritual cast.
Okay.
For
so,
all, she's got time. She's just gonna be sitting here. She's not.
Yes, 10 minutes per spell.
tuned in.
Got it. What are you doing first? In case something happens in, maybe 10 to 20 minutes.
And
What is
maybe
the
10 to
order of
20 minutes,
items?
Then first she's doing the daggers, because then she'll
Okay.
know what they do and can confidently use them.
Okay. Daggers first. Got it. What follows daggers?
Belt.
Okay, got it. Putting that aside, Flenser wakes up with a gasp and a cough, spitting out some, like, blood as they, like, look up at you.
I'm, like, crouched down near him. Hey, old buddy, old pal. Why don't you drop the illusion? We all know you ain't a gnome.
I fucking hate you.
Likewise.
And this illusion drops. And Flenser is a quickling. A Fey race that is not seen outside of Telbanon and some of the other Fey locations. They are the same size as a gnome, but they are thin with green skin. It is like a light leaf green, and their eyes are constantly darting. And Flenser's eyes are almost like a chameleon's eyes in a weird way. It's like they're like going in different directions.
So they can move asynchronously of one another?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
cool,
so
cool,
creepy
cool.
and I love it.
And
That's awful.
yeah, I said, what nightmare fuel can I throw at my players today?
You made something worse than a gnome, so...
Yeah! Victory. And their teeth are jagged and, like, I wouldn't say someone broke their teeth. Their teeth look like they were just always like this. And their smile is more of, like, barbed wire.
Shark tooth little gremlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It is barbed wire to keep lies and compliments in. And he looks at you, Birdie, with a level of contempt. Well, it sure is a pity. It would have been nice to see what your skin looks like as you're screaming.
Yeah, if you're trying to be scary, it's not that good when you're just laying down on the ground tied up like a hog ready to be killed.
Oh. They look to their arms. So I am.
Yeah, it took you long enough. You never were bright.
That's because the bright ones always think too hard and too long. It's better to be quick.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't got time for this shit. Spill the beans.
On.
You just here to kill me? Anything else I'm missing out here? Who else they sending? Because I'm sure Adon ain't gonna be the only one. Oh, by the way, he dead. About fucking time.
I mean,
Sad
not
you
like
didn't do
I
it
give a
yourself?
shit that he's dead.
Good. Okay. At least you're simple. You're easy to understand.
Of course, violence is an easy thing to understand, but why should I tell you anything?
I would like to do another painful.
Yep. Roll to hit at advantage. Or, we'll just handle it narratively. I'm not gonna waste time rolling.
I would like to do
this
a
guy is
pain.
on the ground. I think Ciela has, like, her knee pressed on, like, the back of his, like, wrist, so it's just cannot untie himself.
Unless you're a masochist. I can do tickling too.
You have no idea the hornet's nest you stepped into. Fucking.
You came to me. You brought the hornet's nest to me. I was fine. Being River, doing what I want, and just staying away from y'all.
You fucked up. The reason
Elaborate.
we're after you is because someone way bigger than fucking Adder wants you dead.
Fucking who?
They look at you, and it is a look of like, you fucking know what you did. They
I
are
don't
like,
think I do.
okay.
I don't think in canon.
Okay, they thought
actually,
that you understand, then they go, oh, you really don't know.
No. Who the fuck did I piss off in the last 20 damn years?
You
Been gone for
fuck.
20 what, Beldis? Excuse me?
Sorry, I meant 20 minutes.
Ah!
Fair.
That was Golineth, by the way.
You took a hit on one of the Lords of the Crimson Havens. Personal list, a very small list of friends.
Do I remember this hit?
You made a lot of hits. I don't think you would necessarily know who from who. Also, if it was a hit like this, they would not have told you that
True.
it was someone that's connected.
You know how the Vipers work. You know how information comes down the totem pole. Which lord?
What's in it for me?
Shiela, what's in it for him? What grace can you do?
I'm not going to give him anything. All I need is to turn him in alive. So I suppose the benefit is I'm not going to kill you. And maybe I'll be generous and I will send your bounty into not the Assyrian Empire or the Lords of Crimson Haven.
That sounds like a great plan. Because you know how happy they're going to be when they find out you failed?
Oh, well, us failing isn't too much out the amount of gold they offered on your head. Every fucking person with a dagger is coming for you.
Great. Fucking great. Anyway, answer the damn question.
The Scourge Sword.
Thank you, that wasn't very hard. And Birdie will turn around and leave. Do with him what you will. If you want to slit his throat, I don't give a shit. Just stab him an extra time for me.
Would anyone like a history check on that name?
I do,
Sure.
actually.
Yes.
I do.
Sure.
I do. What was it again, so I can write it in my notes?
It was the Scourge Sword, but you, because you grew up in the Crimson Haven, would automatically know this.
Okay,
it is
sure.
Lord Alakon Tatharis, one of the adventuring party who slew the original Lord of the Crimson Havens, a Lich.
Just DM me that information later, please.
Will do. Will do.
I only got a
Was
9
the
on that,
original Lord a Lich?
The original Lord was a Lich, a adventuring
Okay.
party of 7, cast them down and allegedly destroyed the phylactery as well as the Lich.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I was
then
just
did a
clearing that
180
up.
and said,
The
"We're
Scourge
owning this
Sword
city."
is not a Lich.
Yeah, the Scourge Sword is not a Lich.
That's the family.
Yeah. As far as you know. That would... Could be a Lich, just that would not be anything any of you would know. What was that, a 9?
Yeah.
From Beldis?
11 from me.
11. Golineth?
I'm playing with Fakal.
Oh, okay.
18.
18. Karsus is one of the 7 lords of the Crimson Haven, Lord Alakon Tatharis. They, at one point, were a paladin to a divine order, only to fall. Whether that fall led to their decisions as a lord of the Crimson Haven, or whether their lordship is the reason for the fall, some dispute. Known for being cruel and heavy-handed, and a avid worshipper of Bane, Lord Alakon Tatharis is a force of destruction just by themselves. They have salted fields and destroyed castles and noble families and toppled them for the smallest of slights.
Raised villages.
Yeah, they're not a great person. Prior to becoming Lord of the Crimson Haven, they were relatively better and more maintained. most of the conflicting stories that you would know started after. However, one additional thing you would know is the Scourge Sword was engaged about 14 years ago. You haven't heard any news since. 14, 16 years ago, around that time. Because news around the Crimson Haven doesn't leave the Crimson Haven very fast.
Yeah. So it's probably been longer.
Yeah. And
I
given
don't know what to.
whatever information you did get could be just propaganda. Like, you never know.
And to be clear, River has, or our companion formerly known as River, has left the room.
Yes.
To be fair, though, I don't think I ever actually introduced myself as Birdie, so you can keep calling me River if you want. That's just what I've been calling
fair.
them.
But I just want to respect Birdie.
That's fair.
And also,
Birdie's
I
a
like
force
saying the
nature.
phrase, our companion formerly known as River.
That's fair.
So-
That's completely fair.
But
yes, I did leave the room.
What do we do with this guy now? Would you? I don't know what we're supposed to. We could.
Oh no, I'm just waiting for my pay from, and I look to the bounty hunter of where our cut, and then I'm going to. She just points out the door too.
Of course. That was 50 gold for Flenser, if I recall, and 30 gold in additional head. And there is 1, 2, and 1 that ran off, that now I'm going to have to hunt down.
You don't have to count that one, but I'll.
She will toss you. She'll like count out 8 platinum pieces. I think that's.
I think it's more because I get another 30 because there's 2 extra heads.
You're right.
So it's 60. So I get
Yep, 60 plus
11,
50,
11
110, 11 platinum. She tosses you
Okay.
11 platinum.
Cool, and I go, thank you, and I leave.
Don't
Pleasure.
spend it all in one place. Yes,
She
Maggie?
signal like Beldis and like let's go.
I don't.
We'll just leave her to it.
Wow. I'm gonna go have Beldis's drink.
Man, solid plan.
Yeah.
I approve.
As I walk past Beldis, I'm going to do. Can I do lesser restoration, but like leave the hangover part?
Just get rid of the alcohol?
Yeah, get rid of the inebriation.
You
Just
know,
leave.
absolutely, because I think that's hilarious. And I would say alcohol poisoning is a thing, and it does specifically say poisons.
There you go. And I don't say anything or make it obvious. Just do that on my way out, probably mumble underneath my breath to make it happen.
Oh, there's that pain I was looking for. Okay.
Poor Beldis, but also I don't feel sympathy at the same time.
That's great. Okay. Yep. Can do this. And I'm gonna start trying to pick up that pile of armor again. And when I probably grab that shirt and those little rings, I was like, oh no,
It's
this
10
is
times
gonna suck.
heavier.
Yeah. We're in our bedroom or something like that, right?
Yeah, you're in like a in-room.
Great. Is there like a throw blanket?
Yeah.
I grab that and I just kind of try to podge everything into the bag and just carry it out that way in this awkward wrap of. God,
Yep. And Karis, about this time, your spell would have gone off for the Identify. I would say this has probably taken about 15 minutes-ish. First dagger, it's called Serpent's Bite. Let me give you the stats real quick. Serpent's Bite. This is a +1 dagger. It gives you a bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon. Once per day, you may coat these daggers with a poison that comes from the head. The next attack that hits will do a additional 4d6 poison damage, DC 15 Constitution saving throw. If they succeed on the saving throw, it is halved.
Just as a quick TLDR, when I did leave the room, started walking down the stairs, I slowly started to, get back to River.
Yeah. As you shift back to River, you hear outside, "There's a body in the alleyway! I tried to say something that someone told me not to, and I thought it was a good idea, but I saw the body!"
I hear that too.
Yeah!
I'm down in the bar. Where's Beldis?
Upstairs, I think, still, like, with the blanket, throwing things in.
And I know that Beldis was the one dragging the body around.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually going to go up back, and I'm going to knock on the door.
They don't hear it because the little silence spell's still there.
Right. Fine. I open the door.
Yeah, you can open the door.
Beldis, we need to talk.
Okay, not so loud.
Someone saw you dragging a body around. We've been in the street killing people and dragging bodies around and taking stuff off of them, and now they saw you, so we need to hide you so that you don't get in trouble.
Okay. So, what we do to
Exactly. Come talk to me in the hallway.
Okay. Well, yes.
I kind of look like I'm about to like drag him by his ear like an angry parent, and instead like I put my hand on his back and I kind of like try to help him take his loot and drag him into the hallway.
Yep. Easy enough to do.
We got nothing to worry about. I suggested he forgets about it, so right?
He's out there telling people.
I think your exact thing was, I suggest you don't tell anyone about this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought I said.
And then you dropped concentration.
Yes, I know what happened. But, okay. So, what we need is, okay. Where's this guy? Oh, that's right. His head's missing. Gotcha. So, okay, right, yeah. Got it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this chain shirt and I'm gonna drape it over my head. And okay, and I'm gonna, it's over my head and the sleeves are kind of hanging down right here. And no, never mind, this idea isn't gonna work.
I'm gonna interrupt this because I'm hearing this outside, obviously, right? Like, there are raised voices. There's some calculation that can go off. I turn around, I sort of like go halfway up the stairs, see that they're in the hallway, and I go, okay, that makes this easier. And I'm just gonna come over and say, hey, Beldis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something. Stay still.
Please don't blow me up.
No, nothing that bad. And it shouldn't hurt at all, actually. And I'm gonna cast Disguise Self. And you're gonna be a dwarf, but a different dwarf.
I don't look like Justin Bieber now, do I?
You don't
Justin
look like
Bieber
Justin.
as a dwarf.
So
you look like Dustin's first cousin once removed on his father's side, despite the fact I don't know what his father looks like.
So
it doesn't look like you or Dustin.
Self. So it's Disguise Self, or...
Disguise Self.
Disguise Self will only work on you. Disguise Self only works on you, the spellcaster. You make yourself, including your clothing, armor, and weapons.
Self-Kari.
I'm sorry, I can't read. I'm sorry.
Well, everybody has selfhood. Selfhood is a universal human experience.
Hey, I play loosey-goosey with a lot of things, but spells are where I draw the line.
God damn it. And she curses for a second, vividly, in a language nobody here knows, I don't think. Anyway, because she remembers that she did change this at one point, but she doesn't have that written down, and she didn't prepare that for today, so sorry, you're out of luck. Actually here, and she just starts stripping off some of the things she was wearing, which just seem to be like large, ratty sheets, and she starts wrapping them around you, artfully, so that you look like a ragamuffin, but you don't look like you.
I can play into this, not a problem.
And she, of course, still looks like a Yuan-Ti that looks vaguely related to the bounty hunter that they met. So she's like, okay, this'll work, this is fine. She tucks one of the sheets, because this is one of the bloody ones, and she just hides that a little bit more with a little tuck and curl. It's like, okay, we're good.
This has been such a bad day.
It's just getting started.
Well,
Okay, where?
It can get started out of my room. I've got.
Oh
what
my
I need.
gosh!
Our
Just
business is
stop!
done.
Just stop! Just all of you act like assholes so that we all think that you're good at crime. And I have had it. I have had it. Just keep your mouth closed. We're gonna go help our friend, okay?
She gives you a thumbs up, and she's like, I don't know why you thought I'm a criminal. I'm a bounty hunter. I told you to take them alive.
And we're done. Let's go, everyone.
Delightful.
Yes.
Angry Maggie is my new favorite Maggie.
Even moms lose their patience
Oh, yes.
eventually.
I don't have to hear with all this crime.
Anyway.
I usher them back to our inn. Are we in our inn?
No, you are not.
Okay.
You're on the
I
far
try
side.
to usher everybody back to our inn.
Sure. Let's get a group stealth check, and then I will plot out how this is gonna go over break.
Oh, I left earlier and
Okay, roll yours individually, and I will treat it as individually, because you did leave substantially earlier.
I guess my question is, am I still rolling at disadvantage?
Nope, flat roll.
Okay.
You still suffer exhaustion, but you are swaddled, so I am giving you a flat roll.
Didn't lesser restoration cure the level of exhaustion?
I don't think it
That was the point.
heals lesser restoration. I think it heals poisons, which was the alcohol for bad choices. Whereas not sleeping was
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Allow me to roll deception since I'm trying to blend in with the crowd.
Yeah, I think greater restoration does get rid of exhaustion. That is the difference.
18 stealth for cars.
All right, 18.
9.
Okay.
13.
21.
Fakal decided that it would ring out, and I got a 9.
Okay. And River, what was yours?
13 deception.
13.
To just chill, walk through the crowd.
Well, we will find out how that goes for the party after let's say a 10-minute break. So we'll, 12, make it 12, make it 9:45 Eastern Standard. So we will be back in 12 minutes, get some water, self-care, give yourself some good self-love. And by self-love, I mean drink some water, stretch, and give yourself maybe a hug. Maybe some positive words.
I've got a jacket for that.
But we will be right back, and we will see you soon. hello everybody. We are back with Anarion's Rest, our homebrew 5e campaign. Without further ado, we last left our characters leaving the tavern or heading outside of the tavern room to the shouts of, "There's a dead body in the alleyway! I saw a dwarf! With them! Guards! Guards! Come quick! Come quick, guards! Guards!" And they had disguised themselves with a average of 20 on their stealth check. Golanath, I think no, you don't have. Never mind. Disregard. You don't have pass without trace. That's only an hour. And you begin to head down the stairs, I'm assuming. Making your way back towards your tavern. Is there anything you would be doing to avert or avoid conflict?
Well, do I get the sense that we're being pretty freaking stealthy, or am I like, oh, I don't know?
I would
Paris
say,
is like leaning over and seeming to like gossip with Beldis, like arm around. Like either this is a stumbling old woman or like fellow, fellow person, like they're friends and they're, having a great time chatting.
Oh yeah, just such a great time talking with you, sweetie. We haven't seen each other in so long.
Tell me the other one, Grandma. The
So
time
that's
when you
what
were in the Crystal Caverns?
Well, we wouldn't believe it. That's where I met your grandfather, and let me tell you about him. He had the sweetest butt I've ever seen walking down the street. So I just immediately started calling.
And it looks like an indulgent granddaughter, like with her grandmother.
I will say this, Maggie, you are unsure, because, and I will say the reasoning being that you are not sure who saw you and at what point.
Okay. I think Maggie's still not going to choose to use a 4th level spell slot to do pass without trace, because she's used up all her 2nd and 3rd level slots.
Graham, how long did it take between the end of the fight and the interrogation?
I would say it's probably been 25 minutes.
Never mind.
Nah, sorry. 10 minutes for that? Yeah, I'd say maybe 25, 30 minutes, maybe 35 max.
Not enough for a warlock short rest.
No. No. Especially with you kicking and interrogating. Definitely not.
I think I will do disguise self,
okay.
Since that's a Furbolg ability, and I think not really thinking about it. Like, I think how I end up looking comes out from like how I'm feeling. So I'm just this grumpy ass big human guy. Just sort of like workman's clothes, all dirty, and just stomping around like, blah.
I love it. So, River, you were ahead of the group. You continue towards the tavern, to your home base, so to speak. You see a crowd gathering around the square that you had fought in. You see
I elbow someone. Hey, what happened?
Didn't you hear, Daddy? There was a fight. A nasty one, too. Several dead.
That sucks. The guard figuring it out?
Aye, they've even talked to some of the people running to Crystal Caverns. Maybe they can send a few of those expert city guards.
All right. Well, I hope I figure it out, because that's concerning. A fight in the middle of the city?
Aye, and it's the queerest thing. They didn't know who did it or what they looked like, but they knew the number.
Oh, odd. What kind of number? You mean like the number of people?
She shrugs.
I don't know.
It's what I heard from Jeffrey.
Who?
Such a good boy.
Oh.
Always on the beat of things.
Is this a grandchild or?
Oh, heavens, no. I never married.
Fair. Be a free person.
But it'll be interesting. I'll keep my eye on it. Or both if I can.
I hope they catch him.
I mean, who would kill another person?
I don't know. Someone without a heart, obviously.
She nods and, kind of starts leaning over and trying to look over the group of people kind of forming. You do see several guards. Probably all of Haven's guards, to be fair, with just 8 of them. You've got 4 of them that are like, okay, back up. This is a crime scene. We're gonna need you to comply. We are working as hard as we can. We will get you the evidence. We will announce what we have found afterwards. We're going to speak with the dead. We will get answers for you all. I promise. We have our sources on it.
Going all out. Proud of them. Well,
I sure hope those corpses want to say screw you to any police, so hard. They're like, I don't tell you nothing. I ain't no snitch. Dies.
Then I'll leave the nice old granny lady and keep going back to
Yeah. You make it without a hassle. Probably 5 minutes before the rest of your gang. Golanath, as you are heading through the town, you see an eye on you, trailing you.
Sweet.
It is one of the 3 Assyrian Empire agents.
Righteous. I just looked at Fakal and I'm like, recognize any of them?
You get as much of a bird shrug as you can. Which, I will say, probably a no. But then again, to a hawk, maybe all humans look the same.
I'd just say to him, well, guess it's going to be one of those days, buddy. What do you think?
Ruffles its feathers.
And I just look over at the one that's recklessly eyeballing me, and I was like, you hear that? Keep on walking.
They cross their hands. And they just look at you, and then move down the street. Move along.
I stop. I just look back at him.
Yeah. Beldis, Karis, Maggie, you would all see this going on. You're traveling. Rue might say okay, let's go to the tavern and get a drink.
Oh yeah, Karis is just kind of
Yeah, I think you all receive a sending that's so how did it go? Are you coming back to the tavern soon? Love ya. Bye.
Your character impressions of the people who aren't here are spot on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
delightful.
I don't want to miss this session just to see how I sound out of you. So,
Yeah. Karis is probably looking back at Golanath and then following the eye line is nope. I'm gonna keep walking. I don't know that person.
I just say, Maggie, would you like to hold on to Fakal for a minute?
I've got him. If you need to talk to him, you just let me. Sorry, I don't sound like I'm supposed to say. If you need to talk to him, this is working. If you need to talk to him, let me know.
I certainly will.
Okay.
And then I head across the street towards the Assyrian with the crossed arms.
I look back to see what you're doing. Go. Do you need do you need help?
Fine.
Okay. And then I keep going.
Yeah, just remember me and the mist way back with the gnolls?
Yep.
It's the exact same demeanor, and I'm just like, what?
What?
You've got my attention.
See someone who did this?
Did what?
Come on. Murder people in broad daylight.
No. Hey, you know good and well it wasn't me. Smarter than that.
That's why I'm asking you. I at least know that you're capable, and I know that you're at least smart.
You think I'm capable of this? Listen, man. Don't invite me into your world because you don't want me there.
I'm just trying to keep the people of this town safe.
Then leave.
I didn't kill anybody.
You don't have to kill anyone to be harmful. There's much worse ways to harm someone, which you are fully capable of. What you represent, where you're from.
And what do you know about where I'm from, huh?
Same thing you know about me. Just what you've heard and what you assume. Does it hurt your feelings I'm making assumptions?
No, not really. Assumptions are how you survive.
Also how you get hurt.
Hey, living is getting hurt.
But to answer your question, no, I don't know anything about what happened here. I was at the bar with my new bird. Bought for 9 gold. You wouldn't happen to know anything about how that bird came to be in a cage, would you?
Roll a persuasion check. Flat check, not at disadvantage or anything like that. Just flat check.
Just a regular.
Just a
20.
regular roll.
Okay, I don't completely hate these dice, but I mean, they're working on me. 11.
11. You do have a crit still, and you do still have a inspiration from last episode.
I'm gonna go ahead and use that crit.
Okay. So this is the individual, not the one that you had the shakedown at the first time at the meeting.
Right, yeah, no, I figured
This
as
is
much.
one of the other two that are in the town. And he looks at you, and he pauses for a moment. I don't know anything about him. I barely know what type of bird it is. Haven't seen one in this town in the entire 2 years I've been posted here. Don't know how it got here. Don't know or care. Really, it's not my job. That's the dwarves in the Crystal Caverns. That's, you know, the merchants in Haven. I had nothing to do with it. I don't know how it got here.
What do they call you? Your name. Not what they say behind your back.
Davian.
Davian?
Yeah.
Davian, I'm Golineth. Golineth Laranonal. We can go 2 ways from here. Either we could be sworn enemies, or perhaps we can come to some sort of an agreement, some sort of an arrangement, a deal of some sort. You seem like you have motivation other than the Assyrians. Something that maybe we can both capitalize on and bring an end to all of this.
I'm listening.
You see, no soul-bound bird should be without their companion. You look into the eyes of this bird, intelligent as it may be, and you now see an emptiness that seems to be consuming it. Myself and the furbog friend over there, we're trying to keep this bird from the brink. Now let's take the bird out. Put in all the lives and people and folks that this petty war we've waged on each other has brought. Wouldn't you like to be a part of ending this? For no other reason than to say you did? Think of how great that would be.
I'm not against peace. What I want more than anything is that this emotions to the town, that these people are safe. That's why I took this post. I didn't choose to get posted here to be in the job I am.
So you were conscripted.
Yeah. That's how most of us are. If you can't cast magic, you go where those who can tell you to.
Gotta be a better life for you, Damien. Your commander's name. What's their name?
He looks at you and leans in close. Look, my boss, I'm not even sure if it's his real name. He's been doing counterintelligence longer than I have, but I don't have anything against you. I don't hate any elf just because they're an elf. My job is keeping people safe and making sure people aren't smuggling, people aren't, you know. I've seen some shitty stuff. I don't need to go in detail about it, but my job is to keep people safe at the end of the day. You fall under that category as long as you're in Haven. So I'll tell you this once. I advise you stay away from our captain. He told us to go out looking for you. I'm not going to point fingers, but I feel if you cross paths, it's going to come to blades. And I bet the other two associates of mine would jump at that.
And you?
If I have to get involved, it's not my choice.
You've always got a choice.
Do we?
Absolutely.
Well, my choice is to tell you this so that you avoid a conflict altogether and no one gets hurt.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, kind conversation. Pleasure speaking with you. I do hope we can do this again.
Likewise, I don't get to see a lot of people from Telbanon or the Southlands altogether, so I'm sure it would be enlightening.
I'm sure it would as well. And what was the captain's name?
He didn't give it out.
No, I'm asking him again.
Oh.
I mean, if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. But, I'd like to know the name of the person I'm avoiding.
That's fair. That's fair. Rathelius Gray.
You wouldn't happen to know if you're dealing with any kind of wizard or anything, would you? You ever see any wizard folk? You mentioned if you can't do magic earlier, you seen him consorting with any folk that do magic?
Yeah, well, yeah, we deal with mages all the time.
Any that tend to not be around often, but whenever they are around, things just don't seem to take a little bit different of a tone?
I don't know what I can tell you as much as I'm allowed.
Well, I would imagine that's not a whole lot.
I don't deal with them. If there is a conversation that's going to be in a closed room, I'm not invited to it. I get told where to go, where to be, who to look for.
What do you plan on doing after this, Damien? Like, once your conscription is over, once you're no longer a member of the guard, what's your plans?
Go back home, see my sisters. There'll be 7, 6. Maybe help my parents on the farm.
It's awesome. What if you went back and had a little bit of extra gold in your pockets? You know, I wouldn't be opposed to you giving me a little information and me leaving a little bit of gold laying around. Maybe if you could get me that wizard's name.
Roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
You son of a bitch, this is your last chance, Dice. Oh, I hate you.
You do
no!
You do still have an inspiration if you would like to use it up from last session.
Okay, that's a 10.
10. Okay.
I need a dice jail now.
Look, I like you, but
I get it.
What they would do to me if
I get it. I get it.
came out.
I get it. You've been more than kind, and I appreciate you not being a Assyrian and having a bit of decency to you. I'm sorry, that was presumptuous and judgmental of me. But
Hey,
the things I've seen them do.
We're all people first. Country doesn't matter, it's who you are, then where you're from. Everyone's a case-by-case basis.
About the things that happened here, like, what, how are y'all going to proceed with the investigation? Like, what do y'all know so far?
Well, was this, I think you told me it wasn't any of your doing, so.
Yeah, no, I wasn't here.
I don't know, the guards are probably going to handle it.
Like, that guy was just screaming, heralding that they're going to be speaking with the dead. I mean, that's a pretty high-level spell as far as I know.
I wouldn't know.
Fair enough. Like, you've never run into one of these investigations before, or you just kind of, setting up the line and keeping the perimeter?
I mean, it's either going to be someone from the Crystal Caverns, like a priest coming to speak with the dead, grave cleric, or, they might have a wizard. Whether it's someone with a caravan, or, whether we have to call somebody in, I don't know.
Well, if I hear anything, I'll be sure to let you know, Damien.
I appreciate it. And if I find any information on any wizards that are not government secret related, I will convey that as well.
I'd appreciate it, but don't feel obligated. I don't want you to get yourself in a compromising situation because, well, most of the Assyrians I've met are less than noble, or less than as noble as you.
and most of the elves that I have met have been pretty stand-up, except for the few that have tried to, slit my throat in the night. So,
It wasn't
call
me.
it even.
Fair enough. And then I'm just gonna turn around and walk back over to Maggie, and I'm just gonna see if I can't get Karis and Eldis and Birdie's attention, who I'm pretty sure, I'm convinced now that it's River, and I'm just gonna be
At this point, I've turned back.
okay, cool.
When I finally arrive, yeah.
Okay.
And
during the course of this conversation, Maggie, Karis, Beldis, is there anything you three would have liked to have done or talked about?
Yeah, Karis is just sort of continuing the ruse as they walk along, but eventually,
yes, in my amazing foolproof disguise.
I have a conversation, but for when we get back to the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Yolnath, you can rejoin.
I'm just gonna tell them about the inner. Brave cleric, and then I'm just going to look back, make sure that we've made a little bit of room, and I'm just going to look to Karis and Maggie, because I feel like I would have inserted myself between them. I'm just going to say I have opened an avenue where I can feed them some false information if I need to.
I knew there was a reason why I liked you.
Good. But we probably want to leave.
Oh yeah, we really want to leave. They're bringing in. They're gonna talk to the dead.
Into the caverns.
Do you think that your former associates would be of the mind of cops bad? Don't talk to cops.
Magic is a difficult thing. They kind of have to tell the truth when it comes to raising dead spells.
But would they answer is my question, because usually these things require the soul to have to answer.
Yes, they usually do have to answer. It's usually a simple yes/no question, depending on what spell. Rue would know better.
Never mind. I'll talk to Rue.
Yeah, talk to Rue later.
What do they have? What?
So usually, and Karis is actually going to launch into like a whole thing about necromancy, about how it actually requires this very complicated form of like subliminal consent that has to be reached between the soul and the caster, and like it's this whole thing. It's probably way more detailed than Beldis ever asked for.
So at some point,
just a quick question about.
Yeah.
So you're saying that before I become a zombie, I have to agree to be a zombie? So all zombies walking around are kind of in a sense that they want to be there, walk around, and I mean,
for most spells, your body could be inhabited by a completely different soul. Like zombies, it's really. And then she goes into a further explanation of raising the dead and how it's usually not the same person.
It's about this time that you arrive at the tower.
Yeah, I really appreciate the education, but I think we need to figure. Are we going to go to the caverns? Is that where we're going? Is that?
Honestly, I'm for anywhere but here.
I need to go do some research
in the caverns.
In the probably.
And when Maggie mentions the caverns and research, I just kind of belch forth the 14 letters onto the table, and I kind of look. I was like, "Look, at the Goblins' place, I got all this information," and then I reach into my cloak and my car's here. I think this is for you. And then I'm just like, everything is pointing me to the Underdark, the Crystal Caverns. Somehow, Beldis is linked, and I look at Beldis and like, sorry.
I take whatever the heck that is. Do I recognize it?
And were these the parchments?
Correct. Yeah.
They are spell scrolls.
Sweet.
But roll me an Arcana check.
Excellent. Here we go. That is 21.
One is not finished.
That one's even more exciting. But what are the two
what spell was it? Sorry.
One is not finished. So It is not all the way complete, so you could not transcribe it, but if you wanted to spend time, we could homebrew maybe a spell at some point.
Oh yeah, she is delighted by that. She's like, I have something I can do something with. Like, that's cool. But what are the two that are complete, I guess?
So there were two that were grabbed. One was the
okay.
incomplete one. One is a scroll of
Awesomeness.
Yeah. Tasha's hideous laugh. No, I don't think that is what it is. That. Oh no, never mind. You guys didn't loot that body because they ran away. Whoops. It is a. Sorry. It is Wall of Sand.
Cool. Love it.
I would like at some point for Maggie to say, Bildis,
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you.
Can I get a glass of water first?
I go down, I get a glass of water, I get some greasy food. I come back up and I say, because I think we had multiple rooms, just come talk.
I just want to say that I love you right now.
Pat him on the head, not in a condescending way, in a very motherly way, and usher him over to another room. Here, I set things up on the table. I shrink myself down. I'm back in my normal form, and I shrink myself down as far as I can go and sit across the table from Bella.
Please stop doing that. Stand your height.
I need to look you in the eye. Okay?
Well, then let me stand on a chair, and I'll be equal with you. Okay. Hi. I
don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but this is not.
It's been a rough day, rough time.
I'm making it rougher. Look, you remember when I ran from that combat, right? When I ran from that,
yes,
right?
Lord, that was terrifying.
And you did the same thing last night. You just ran into the bottle.
Oh, this is gonna be one of those moments about how you saw a reflection of your dark self and how I'm seeing a reflection of my dark self moment. You want
to see a reflection, and I roll up my sleeve and I show that part of my skin that is losing its fur and red. I'm scared too. Okay, I'm scared.
That doesn't. Is that? That. Not to be insensitive, but did your ancestors also run away from their homeland? And no, okay, just making sure that.
Well, I mean, you're not totally wrong, but I don't think that's what it's about. But I don't know.
Okay.
And I suspect it's about a curse, and everything has led me here.
Okay. Hold on a second. Just give me one quick second here, and I'm gonna do. I want another lesser restoration on myself to try to lose this hangover as fast as possible.
Sure. If you're going to waste a spell slot, why not?
I am wasting a spell slot for this one.
Yeah. Hangover be gone.
Okay, hangover be gone. Oh, I should have done that hours ago. Okay. All right. Let's look. Okay.
You got to listen, okay? You got to listen. You do what you want to do, but you got to listen. There are very few people who I would release the destruction of the wildfire for. Very few. And you are one of them. Karis, Golaneth, Rue, whoever River is. So I don't want you to run, and I don't want me to run. So if you're going to be afraid with me.
I'm terrified.
I know, and so am I.
It's okay. So, since we're comparing, just touch this general area, and it's rough. It's how would I describe it? It's the shoulder bladed area. Kind of feels more like lots of pebbles on top of the bone there. this is getting worse. And at some
Same.
point, I'm going to become the mountain. And I don't know what's in store for you. I don't know if you know what's in store for you. But you should visit the Hall of Echoes with me.
I will.
And I will tell you all that I was trained, all that I was known, all that I was supposed to do before I left.
Will you be in this with me together? Because that's the only way that we can walk through something like this.
I'll be in this with you every step we can take. Okay. Until the fur falls off, until the feet turn to stone, until Karis misses a spell and blasts one of us by mistake.
No more running to the bottle or anywhere else for either of us.
Maybe a jog every now and then.
Casual, okay, casual jog. It's just, yeah, you know, like some. Yeah. I get you. You get you. Do I make you get my?
It was a lot of information to process last night.
I know.
It's a lot of information to process today. It's.
I won't let your heart break into stone. Okay, I won't let it break into pieces. Don't you let mine. Okay.
Okay. I climb up onto the table so I can give the best hug I possibly can. Instead of the awkwardly low one around the, no, this is shoulders here. We're getting into this.
Maggie knows how to hug back someone smaller than her in a way that just feels safe and warm.
I don't know if anything that we've learned will help you, but I will do what I can to get you into somebody who may be able to guide what you're looking for.
Something eventually is going to help us both. We just have to walk forward with that belief.
I mean, there's a common belief that if we go slay an ancient dragon, this might go away, but that's kind of suicide in its own self. So, I mean,
yeah, that feels a little extreme. That does feel a little bit on the extreme side.
In the Hall of Echoes, we will take the guided winds through the whispers of the caverns, and we will listen to what the stones have to say.
So we shall.
So we shall. That means I have to review my scripture again. Oh no.
I was hoping for some ointment. And that was purposeful humor on Maggie's part too.
Oh, yeah, that was. I think we've tried that. We'll see. It's you can only get so much. You can only squeeze so much grease from a rock.
This is true. Only so much beef from a honey. Although you shouldn't squeeze them because it doesn't really work.
I would never dream of
the honey happens. Yeah, but you just yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go make sure that the other people in this wonderful group of completely messed up human beings and elves and everything else go into the crystal caverns and don't get assassinated or arrested.
I love so many parts of this plan, especially the last parts.
They're good parts.
They're good. They are the good parts. Why did Golnath say I'm part of something? I don't want to be part of something.
I don't know, and we have to find out, but I don't want to be part of anything either.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
You know what, though? You are a part of something.
And so are you.
Yeah.
And it's good. This is good. I don't regret this.
It's for better or worse, but mostly better.
Mostly better. Mostly better.
And you know what? I'll take mostly better.
I'll take anything better than worse.
Better than worse.
Better than worse.
And as the two of you set down the stairs back towards your companions, Maggie, for the briefest moment, the scabs, the fur, doesn't itch, doesn't hurt. There is a soothing warmth where the hug left you. Beldis, the soreness where Maggie's hug touched is like a rock eroded away with a warm summer river. And the stiffness that has been accustomed to you for the past several months, for one day, lets you move. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
You know,
From the
it
cure, it's
started
love.
with Rue saying "I love you" to River, and it's all downhill from there.
Oh, we did it. So what I would love to hear from all of my players is, who are you? Where can people find you? And what projects are you working on? And, if there's anything you want to shout out, like any exciting fundraisers that I will talk about later, go at it. I will finish up. But let's start with Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob. I played Beldis Stonesong, the dwarven bard who has a heart not quite of stone and is shorter but tall. Anyway, you can find me at Twitch at Cyclore One Eye. Various Discords, projects I'm working on. I'm working on some fantastic, fascinating projects that involve me learning stuff because I'm back in college and it's taking up a lot of my time. Otherwise, maybe I'll stream at some point again and painting something because I got this big old wicked looking thing right here that needs color. Yeah. At some point I'm going to xenomorph that thing out of my chest. It's going to be awesome. I kind of wish I didn't go first, but I will say that there may be a request for a somewhat similar, but not the same as what will be announced a little bit, charity situation for the month of October. I'm waiting on some details at again, similar, but completely, distinctly, and entirely unplanned separate event benefiting a similar cause. I don't have all the details yet. We're working it out.
Some people are going to do something that's like some other thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're doing the thing. The question is, how much other things can I bring in to help benefit the thing we're doing?
So many things.
So many things. I will say this much. If you live in central Wisconsin and you want to have a fun time on October 17th, you find a place called Apocalypse Paintball. You go to that event, and you're going to be benefiting a certain thing.
A charitable cause.
It's a charitable cause. All proceeds go to charity. And we're trying to see how much more we can bring into it. But again, planning details, and I got to get with coordinators and blah, blah, blah.
Look at that.
What I have.
I even made you your own command, Bob.
Ooh, I got commanded.
Hi, I'll go next. I'll just go next since I'm already unmuted, if that's okay. Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I am producing some charity streams over on Friends Who Roll Dice. We're currently in the process of running vampire games for BIPOC Vamp Chan and raising money for Charity Water. There's some other things in the pipeline that I can't talk about. I am running an Invisible Sun game on Friends Who Roll Dice premiering October 24th. I am also in an upcoming charity thing that I'm going to let someone else do more talking about because that's their thing. But I will be in one of those games and helping produce and all the fun stuff behind the scenes. Am I missing anything? I don't. Oh, October 2nd, I'm running a game of 10 Candles over on Eva Sarach's channel where they're going to try and quote-unquote escape the Mall of America. They all die. That's what 10 Candles does. Anyway, that's it.
I don't know who's supposed to go next, so I guess I'll go next. I don't know. I'm Jen. You can find me on Twitter at Quixote Jen. And Mare should take more credit because Mare is really, really helping so many charity things, and including helping a series of streams we're going to do on Eva Serate's Twitch channel for Stand Up to Cancer, which is a super cool organization that coordinates research internationally for cancer, funds research, also has a health equity program to try to make sure that clinical trials, which are often people's only chance to save their lives, are actually letting people from marginalized communities in, and there's a lot of barriers to that kind of access. So they're super amazing. We're gonna have streams all through October. It's gonna be fun. A couple of people here are gonna be able to stream in those awesome fun streams. We're like completely honored by the amazing people who've stepped up to GM for us and who stepped up to play for us. And it's really cool. And it's for patients by patients. Most of the people organizing are current or former cancer patients, as am I. And about half of our players are. So it's going to be cool. We're also going to have some panels for patients to talk about their experiences. They're all patients who are also gamers. So we're going to talk about our experiences in the TTRPG community, our experiences as cancer patients, and I'll give you more dates and information. And if you want to learn more about that, you can follow us at Play Cancer Away on Twitter. That's our stuff.
Okay, well, I'm Confounded. You can find me on Twitter at the Confounded. I don't really have anything going on except for this because I can't get myself out of a stupor that I'm in. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Love your faces.
Oh goodness, that leaves me. Nope, it doesn't.
No.
Leaves Kari.
Excuse you. You wait your turn, sir.
I'm sorry.
And we love you, Con. Hi, everybody. I'm Kari. You can find me here most times. Every other Tuesday for this campaign, and every Friday, except some of the recent Fridays because things for Shards of Anarion. So not this Friday. I'll be back next Friday. I'm going places, and that's all you ever need to know. So you'll find me there every Friday at 8 p.m., except this Friday. And I'm not doing any charity streams, but I fully support and really encourage everyone who can to go to any of these fabulous and fun charity events. They are all great, run by great people, and you should definitely do it. I'm not peer pressuring you at all, though, so you know, I'm not your mom. But you should. I'm just saying, you should. But yeah, now it's your turn.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Graham, or Graham Crackers. This is my channel. Thank you for spending the time to hang out with us tonight, because it is always a treasure to have you in our treasure chest of followers. But outside of this game and Shards of Anarion, where I DM it weekly, every fortnight I play one or the other. Also on Fridays you can find me in Gold Shine Investigations playing Gaheris Nervos. You know, your cute blue tiefling paladin, because why not? Then, if that's not enough Graham Tieflings for you, on Saturdays, every other Saturday on Polished Cryptid, I play Mavrin Minados, who is another Tiefling. And if that's not enough Tiefling, well, I'm sorry, I can't play more than 3 Tieflings a week. My therapist told me so. So, you can find me on Mondays, where I host MMO Mondays, where we play MMORPGs. Right now we are playing Guild Wars 2 by ArenaNet, where we take a bunch of new players from our community and play MMOs together and just experience the game. What's on the horizon after Guild Wars 2? Maybe Ark. Maybe Final Fantasy XIV, you never know. It's a endless world of endless possibilities, and I can't predict for the whims of fate. But you know what I can predict for? That I love each and every one of you, and thank you for spending the time with me and with all these wonderful players. You are all fantastic, and I just want you to know that even though it might be a few days before we see you, stay happy, stay healthy, and we will see you soon. You're never alone. We'll always be right here. So, bye for now. We are going to raid We Are Nerdsmith, who are playing some D&D. And, you know, let's spam some Graham love in the chat. And, you know, I think they currently are fighting. They're in, like, a storybook in the Fae, which has the 4 suits queens.
Oh, cool.
And they're all battling each other, and one of them might be corrupted. I don't know all the details, but I know it's going to be a good time. Plus, they're wearing wigs and makeup. I wore a hat. that's my dress up.
That's a nice hat.
Thank you. I wear it every show, and at almost every stream I wear the same favorite shirt. But we will see you soon. We're gonna go read them. So bye for now.
Raid, take no prisoners. Leave nothing valuable.
I never do.
And we